Did you guys have any problems watching SummerSlam through the network?
Yes.
I did.
Okay, hold on. I got a couple things to say about that. One is, Dan, I found out that there is problems with Chromecast. There's problems with Chromecast, but I did hear too, Vic, that there was problems with it streaming. Like mine, I watched it on my smart TV, and it kept it stopped, and I would have to restart it, and that bothered me. But I got through it. But it only happened a couple of times. But it did.
Are you
stop
talking about
and I had to
live?
go through it again.
Live.
Yeah, actually live.
Live and delayed.
Oh, because I watched it delayed on my Fire, and I had no problem.
Okay. I had a problem with my Fire Stick. I didn't get to see the last. I want to see the last 5-10 minutes of the Rollins and Lesnar match. Actually, it just blurred out. I tried to reset it. I think I had a bad connection over here, but I was able to see the rest of it on my phone actually.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I did hear that there were problems though. It wasn't just us.
Okay.
But I did hear, Dan, that there is problems with the with Chromecast, in general. So, but they're trying to fix it.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? Hey, welcome to Kayfabe Culture. I can't remember if this is number 5 or 6, but it's one of them.
It's something like that.
It's something like that. Yeah, got some different guests this time. We do have Anthony back with us, as pretty much always.
Hey,
Dan from Extraordinary Culture.
I heard that.
And then we've got Victor over there from. I every time Dan says your name, Vic, it's always IE Rockabilly, and that's how we know you forever.
I always refer to it.
Yeah.
IE Rockabilly.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty funny because I've been out of the entire rockabilly loop for a while, so I don't know. I've just been taking a break from it,
Yeah, it happens.
Long story short, I'm burned out, but you know how that is.
Yeah, of course. I'm not gonna lie, man. I didn't watch the pre-show because I watched it later. What did I do that day? Oh, it's my mom's birthday, so I didn't get to the pre-show. I just watched the actual main event.
That was fair.
The only thing that stuck out to me from seeing this stuff was Alexa Bliss's outfit, the Buzz Lightyear thing. Did you catch that? The Buzz Lightyear thing?
No.
Yeah, I'm surprised Disney's not gonna put a lawsuit on that.
I think it's just exposure for them, man. Well, come on, they had that, and then wasn't Ricochet Nightwing?
Yeah, he was 100% Nightwing. He had not only did he have the blue Nightwing markings, but he also had you can kind of barely see it on the front. There was an R for Robin, and then also on the back of the suit there was also the Robin R. That goes right along with when Naomi dressed as Bumblebee.
Yeah.
The Teen Titans characters. So obviously a group of them over there have a big thing for some Teen Titans / DC characters.
Well, the night before, Johnny Gargano was Wolverine.
Oh, well, there you go then. That's just
they're
all over the place.
Also remember Rey Mysterio's attire during WrestleMania. So he was Daredevil one year.
Wasn't he Spider-Man too one time?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Oh wow, crazy.
I remember the behind the scenes segments when they told, I think somebody from management told Mysterio that, I love your outfit, but seriously, let's tone it down because we don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I don't doubt it. So I didn't watch those. Nothing crazy, I don't think. Drew Gulak beat Oni Lorcan. Those two guys are good. Just unfortunately, no one watches 205 Live.
Yeah, I know.
No, I don't. Even live when I went to see Smackdown in Ontario, even live when they actually filmed 205 Live, no one was into it. I mean, I was. I think the guys are good, but I don't watch it. But I think the guys are good.
Do they limit the aerial assault moves that they do on 205 Live?
Not that I noticed. They didn't do anything crazy, but you know what? I think WWE does in general.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to do anything too crazy. So They
want them stealing the show. That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
That's very unfortunate.
Buddy Murphy.
It sucks to be a cruiserweight.
It does suck to be a cruiserweight. Yeah, it really does.
Fuck yeah.
Buddy Murphy beat Apollo Crews. Two more guys who are actually pretty good and still relegated to just the opening stuff. Although, did you see Buddy Murphy's match against Roman Reigns on SmackDown?
It was a good match.
Did you watch
it? But Murphy took Reigns to the limit in a way.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm like, what are the odds of Murphy maybe trying to get a push down the road?
I heard it was an accident. I heard it was an accident too, because the whole thing came up with like when that stuff got pushed over onto Roman Reigns, and it just happened that he was walking in the background. It wasn't even supposed to be in the shot, and they turned it into like, oh well, now we kind of got to put him in because he was seen in the background because a bunch of people online had been like, hey, that was Buddy Murphy in the background. Hey, that was Buddy Murphy in the background. And all of a sudden it's like, we got to put him in the storyline now.
Hey, they should do a storyline where Buddy Murphy is like a relation to Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it's a retaliation for when Rikishi ran over Stone Cold with the car. Take it way back. I'm telling you.
I think saved his career, actually. Him being in the background.
Yeah, it did. That was actually was a really good match. If you haven't seen it yet, you should check out SmackDown this week.
That's that wicked spear, man.
Oh, at the end?
That wicked spear, oh god. Painful to watch.
Yeah, you know what? Roman sold for him like pretty good. He actually made it look like everything hurt from Buddy Murphy. So it was actually a pretty good match. If you haven't seen it yet, I totally recommend you check that out. It's probably on the network now. Main card, first match of the night was Becky Lynch and Natalya. Thoughts?
Predictable.
I didn't get to see it. I did not get to see
it actually, unfortunately.
Okay.
Problems.
It was good, hard-hitting match. I don't think it was any surprise. They're not going to give Natalya the title anytime soon. I think everything was a setup for the next night on Raw to bring back Sasha Banks.
Oh yeah, she came back new style or new
hair.
New Sasha, right?
Yeah, she got new weave, baby, new weave.
Ooh. I'll take it.
She got new weave and a new attitude. That's what happened there. That's all I think that was. Anthony, anything?
No. I mean, Becky Lynch working as always. Some nice back and forth using of each other's, submissions and stuff like that. Yeah. Just, what you would expect to see out of a submission match.
Like I said, solid match, but.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of giving them a lot of leeway when they get on the ropes and stuff than what they used to in submission matches, but other than that, just pretty basic.
Yeah. Dan, I haven't talked to you about this, but I met Dolph Ziggler. I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you listened to our last episode.
Where did you meet him at?
At Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
I met Dolph Ziggler at Comic-Con, so I rolled up to this booth that had like wrestling comics. They have one for Conan and for Rey Mysterio and for Penta and Rey Fenix. And I'm checking it out, and then I hear a voice, and I'm like, I know that voice. And I turn, and it's like, this is Dolph Ziggler. He's signing like at this booth. I was kind of like, oh snap. So I mean, I marked out a little bit.
Yeah.
I got his autograph. I got his picture. Picture with him.
Was he a nice guy?
Dude, he was super nice. So it actually turns out he was signing there, and then it wasn't busy, like at all.
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't busy. So I was like, dude, yeah, I'm gonna get an autograph, and you know what? He's like, yeah, cool. So he signed it for me, and then we started talking. I must have talked to him for almost like 5 minutes because it wasn't busy, and the guy that was supposed to be taking my money for the photos and stuff was busy. He was talking to somebody else. Uh-huh. So we started talking about the match. I told him I went to go see SmackDown in Ontario, and he's like, oh, that's the title match with Kofi, and I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that was fun. And he's like, did you stay for the dark match? And I was like, yeah, man, I stayed for the whole thing. He's like, that was more fun. He's like, because we did 6 minutes on TV or something. He's like, and then, we decided in the back, let's go 30 for the dark match. Let's go closer to 30 minutes. Shit. They went a long time. Yeah. And he's like, it's a lot of fun that we can get to do this. Super cool guy, dude. He's big. I mean, he doesn't look it on TV, but like, he's a big dude in real life. I mean, like, he had
just solid thick.
He's pretty solid and thick, and he's got like 4 or 5 inches on me. Not that I'm a tallest guy, but he's got 4 or 5 inches on me, and he's just thick. Just super cool, dude. I ended up telling him, man, you know what, dude, I find you really entertaining, bro. I hope to do something, cool with you here. He's like, hey, man, thanks. I really appreciate that. And then you see him get freaking jobbed out to Goldberg like this, bro. I don't know what they got going on with him. I don't know what they're doing with him.
Yeah, I saw his background. I was able to watch it on Hulu at the shop. Yeah. It was kind of just background noise for me, but I got to see clips of it. I saw Goldberg. I'm like, okay. What's the angle for this?
To set up something else, I think. But I know I read somewhere they put Dolph with him because they knew, you put Dolph in with anybody, he's going to make them look good.
Nice.
You know, and it's kind of a makeup still for the Undertaker thing in Saudi Arabia. Like, Goldberg couldn't get up the Undertaker for the jackknife, but Dolph, at, like 220 pounds, will go right up for Goldberg.
Hey, did you see Taz's explanation about it on his podcast? Did we talk about this?
No, I don't think so.
Taz he has his own podcast.
Yeah.
And he was talking about he wasn't making excuses for Undertaker or Goldberg, but he was explaining the variables that could have caused an issue with the performance, like the temperature of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, hot as
he
hell.
just started naming off like all of these things. And he said, you tell me that you can do these things that these guys are doing, even, okay, maybe in their 50s, but, under those conditions, and tell me you can perform. Tell me you won't get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So he brought up a lot of valid points, and I didn't listen to the podcast. I only read like a review of it, but it sounded pretty interesting. Even just worth a listen just to go back and check out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, with Dolph, good in-ring worker. I'm surprised he's not in Japan. The guy should be in Japan. Personally, I think he'd be a huge star over there. They're not. I don't know. I have a feeling they're not using him right with WWE. To be honest.
I got a feeling he's making pretty good money.
Yeah,
and they're kind of because he was gone for a while. He was doing this comedy thing. He was hitting the comedy clubs doing stuff. So I got a feeling.
Was he really?
Yeah, I got a feeling he's getting what he wants out of it. And he knows I'm still getting a payday. They bring me back. Yeah, I might job to these guys, but it's a hell of a payday to do it because he can make anybody look good. And now with AEW coming along. They're going to throw money at this guy not to leave. He'd be huge over there if he ever decided to leave.
I heard something in a column that I guess something that it was a handshake agreement, something like that. I don't know if you guys heard about that. I got to look at that article. I don't know where it's at though. But
a handshake agreement with the WWE?
Yeah, supposedly. Because they don't want to lose him to AEW.
Yeah,
whatever.
I believe it.
Yeah,
but that was a waste. It says here I got up the time. It says 1 minute and 50 seconds, and then a little more for when he called him out. You're not a man, and then 2 more spears or jackknives or whatever it was. I was like, man, my boy's just going, whatever.
But doesn't that hurt a performer's brand though? If you think about it. I'm like getting squashed every freaking night.
You mean Zack Ryder?
Yeah. I look at Rey Mysterio. Look at the last month.
Oh yeah. He's lost. I don't even think he's won a match.
Oof.
That's getting ugly.
That Brooklyn Brawler.
It's not that bad, man. It's not that bad. It's just some name value in all the guys. I don't know what they're doing with Dolph, dude, but I hope things turn around for him. But I know. Speaking to him, he seems like he's a cool guy and down for just whatever. If he's getting what he wants out of it, then good for him. Good for him, but he could be doing a lot better. Yeah.
I blame him.
AJ Styles and Ricochet. What was the next match?
Good work.
Did you expect anything less?
No.
That's Ricochet's awesome. I didn't know much about him until I really started seeing him pop up regularly on the pay-per-views. And, yeah, dude, he's bad. He's quick.
Oh, yeah. And to put him with AJ Styles, who's honestly, dude, I think he's my age. Doing what he does still. Yeah, I get hurt bending over, and this fool's doing flips and jumps onto the ropes.
Yeah.
There's no comparison there. Good match, solid match. Go for it, man.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that match actually. Ricochet's a hell of a talent. There's things that Ricochet does that not in a million years people will. He's just very innovative. Very innovative. I can't say much about him. Very innovative. Very innovative.
I like what they're doing with the club. I really do. With Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Can we not with the OC though?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, really.
You want to play the OC soundtrack? Does the OC's TV show soundtrack? California, here we go. That's hilarious.
You know, what's his name? He's wearing that paint again too, which is what he was wearing when they were in Japan.
Yeah, I heard them mention that.
Yeah, I think with the paint came a new attitude. Because honestly, if you ever hear those two guys like on their own, they're funny, and he's probably the funnier of the two. Luke Gallows is the funnier of the two. He does voices and just like. So every time I saw him on TV, I was like, because I've heard that stuff. Like when he does stuff, they do a lot of stuff with Jericho, or they were before Jericho was AEW. Yeah, and he's just a funny dude. So to put that paint on, it's just it's a different persona of him, which actually I think kind of works. And they're winning matches now. They got the titles. I hope they keep rolling with that.
That's what they needed, man. They needed a run. I was kind of losing faith in the whole team. I'm like, what they were like, what they signed 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years they didn't do nothing. They gave him one title run and they didn't last. They just kind of seemed like they used him in a comedic segment.
Well, because they have that. They are comedians like in real life. Yeah. That's not what the persona was like in Japan. It was like these guys are the evil heels.
Nerds.
Yeah. He looks like Ogre too, doesn't he? He looks like Ogre.
Yeah.
He's very Ogre-esque.
I still see him as Cletus, man, when he first came into.
Oh man.
Yeah, with Perry Gordy's son.
Yeah, with that bad comb over.
Yeah, every time they rang the bell, that fool came all out you aggressive, and then he rings the bell, he stops. He just with his mouth hanging. I don't know.
And I knew that, but I forgot about it until you said something right now. Yeah, those were not.
Yeah. I remember the theme song too. The theme song was Biscuits and Gravy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it did. That's horrible, dude. That's so bad.
Hey man, I'm feeling a little nostalgic today, man.
That's okay. That's all good.
Going back to the archives here.
Bayley and Ember Moon. Anthony, did you see that one?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the whole thing. I don't know. Bayley bores me anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm just bored of her, and I'm even more bored of her as a champion. I would have much rather seen Ember Moon win, and I would much rather see her as a champion. But, well, there's a lot of people I would rather see as champion. But don't even get me started on the Kabuki Warriors again.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's going to hit something in a minute. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, yeah, it was okay. I don't know.
That's all.
I
mean, I like Ember Moon, but that's all I gotta say about that.
Well, this pay-per-view was weird because it had stuff that was like, oh, that's really good, and then stuff that was like, this is just, Like, it wasn't bad. Yeah. It was just, It was the whole thing I found was like that. Just, So she was good.
Now, Bayley, I don't know, after a while, you would think that she would drop the belt at this time. I'm like, I guess, you know what? I don't know. To be honest, I think she needs to reinvent herself, personally. I think she's the whole hugger gimmick.
I agree.
The whole hugger gimmick is.
But she's a hugger. I like hugs.
Hey, just hear me out. Repackage her as Sister Abigail.
There you go.
There you go.
Bayley herself has said, like, I don't know, I think a heel turn's coming in the future. Like, to do that, to kind of reinvent yourself.
Hey, one thing about this business is that you could always put yourself. How does he go? It says, in order for you to be considered one of the best in the business, you have to have at least one good heel run and one good baby. Something that Ric Flair was able to do.
Yeah.
But somebody like Ricky Steamboat, he was never a heel. He was always a good guy.
Right. Yeah, he never was. Yeah.
That's the way how the business is. You have to have to be the best, you have to have a good heel turn, a good heel. You have to be a good heel and a good baby face.
Well, she definitely needs the heel turn, but you know what they don't need to do right now? They don't need to put her with Sasha again right now.
Not now. Maybe in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Well, they're on different brands, so hopefully that stays that way.
You know what? Yeah, I actually did hear that they were going to quietly get rid of the wild card thing.
I think they already did, but
not entirely, because wasn't Raw.
Or they're just not. Thank goodness they're not saying they're not announcing it every week.
Right.
Because at the beginning they were like Michael Cole wouldn't shut the hell up about it. Of course, I wish Michael Cole would shut the hell up, period, but that's a different story.
I can't stand Michael Cole either.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I always thought,
I can't stand Michael Cole. I'd rather listen to Mauro Ronaldo doing the play-by-play instead of that guy. That's just me.
I thought that match was entertaining. Didn't really see Ember Moon winning it yet. They're not ready to make that move. I don't know what you're going to do with Bayley, but it's definitely time for a reinvention of her character. KO beat Shane McMahon.
Really?
Shocker.
Elias as a special guest enforcer. I still pop for Elias.
Elias.
I love Elias.
I love this guy. He's so funny.
You know what would have been funny? And he just played the crowd at the arena. When the announcer announced Shane McMahon as the best in the world, what would have been funny is that they played a little bit of Cult of Personality and just a huge pop, the crowd. That would have been so hilarious. That would be funny.
Wait, this was in Canada, wasn't it? Yeah, that wasn't going to happen in Canada because you got Kevin Owens, who is the Canadian. Yeah, who is the Canadian. So that wasn't going to happen. Anthony and I have talked about this before. This is Stone Cold. This is Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. That's what this feud is. It's the same thing. We got the stunner, everything. It's all the same. Find $100,000 this week. It's all the same stuff, dude. But it's entertaining.
Huh.
It's entertaining.
That's a cool way to look at it. That's a cool way to look at it.
What's his beer basket?
I don't know. Yeah.
Canadian beer.
Molson.
Or La Bat Bleu. I don't even know if they mean
That's how I totally see the parallels. Completely. Because it came out of nowhere. Like, we've talked about this before, too.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is a heel. He's a heel. He's that heel that gets cheered because people like him. He always puts on the show. So.
Yeah. And he's considered a safe wrestler. He's safe to work with. I've read before or something. A lot of people respect him because he works safe. He doesn't do anything to try to hurt or injure anybody.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I've heard stories. I've heard a lot of stories about him. Very safe worker. Safety is his main concern.
Of course. I think that he's going to be... Have you noticed through that whole wild card thing? He's one that he started it first, but then when it really got going with Shane McMahon, it only stuck on SmackDown. You didn't see it transfer over to Raw like all. It started that way, but then once it got to SmackDown, it kind of stayed there. He stayed there, and Daniel Bryan has stayed there. That's what I've noticed. That those two haven't gone back and forth after they kind of like quietly started to get away with it. Those two haven't bounced back and forth at all. It's strictly on SmackDown.
Well, because they could get the spotlight, but what happens when stupid Brock Lesnar goes to SmackDown and they're going to have to share the spotlight with him?
I told you, Anthony, I called that. If you guys don't know, like I called months ago. Brock Lesnar's going to move to SmackDown because once it goes to Fox, he's the draw because he's a known name. And all of a sudden, what does he do? We'll get to it eventually here, but he loses the title to Seth. They just say, okay, he gets no more rematches. He's going for Kofi.
So Kofi's going to talk
about and it's going to that's what we have to watch out for. And it's going to be when they go to Fox. He's going to be the face of the thing when they go to Fox.
And when does that happen?
Okay, so this is cool, Dan. Like it goes to Fox. What did we say, Anthony? Like 2 weeks after AEW debuts?
Yeah, it's like October 9th or something like that, and it just happens to be. I don't know if you've seen. Go ahead.
I think it's October 4th because I know they just tickets for that event go on sale tomorrow
morning.
Right,
because that's at Staples.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's not only is it Staples Center, but it's also I believe SmackDown 200.
20th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah. So. Or it's 20th anniversary, not 200. It's the 20th anniversary, yeah. So, it would have been nice to have seen Jericho there.
October 4th.
It's a heck of a time to do a debut. Start a nice big storyline right there, right off the bat.
Is that going to be that's going to be right after Clash of Champions, right? Basically.
I have to look that up too. Yeah, hold on a sec. SmackDown Live will make its debut on Fox on October 4th. That's a Friday, and that's a couple of days after AEW premieres.
On
TNT,
Tuesday?
On Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday.
I'm kind of guessing there's going to be a house show in Ontario.
I don't know, man, because if you watch what they're doing, on bigs like that, they're canceling a lot of house shows because they want to put their eyes on it. Right.
No, but there definitely will be a Raw and a SmackDown. Or probably SmackDown might be in Ontario.
That's
like
possible.
Last time.
Well, actually, maybe Raw because we're talking about SmackDown.
That's true. Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. No,
Clash of Champions is 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, it's September 15th.
So go ahead.
Hell in the Cell is 2 days after, or is right after the SmackDown episode.
Oh, that's right, because it's moving to
SmackDown on Fox.
Friday. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 days. Hell in the Cell is 2 days after that SmackDown, so that could be important too.
Yeah, that's the debut of Brock Lesnar. I'm telling you, what's gonna happen?
Hell in the Cell, or not Hell in the Cell? SmackDown or Hell in the Cell?
I think you're gonna see Lesnar with a little time away, and then some kind of big debut at SmackDown. If they put him on TV before SmackDown, something big is gonna happen on SmackDown with Brock Lesnar because he's the name draw. I'm telling you.
Well, that's the main. I guess that was the one of the names that Fox dropped. In order for it to switch over to Fox, have Brock Lesnar as the face of the show. I guess.
Yeah, for now because he's the name draw.
Because I'm kind of wondering if he's gonna be doing more shows though. Not take this part-time stuff. Do a couple of stuff for 4 weeks and then be off for another 3 months.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, if you're going to Fox, you're going to have to be the face. You're going to have to be there every week. You're going to be putting in work now.
Well, we talked about this before, and what we said was once it was clear that Dana White had said he's not gonna work here anymore, that it was like he still had a contract with Vince. You can still draw big money out of him, but it becomes, hey man, I'll throw even more money at you if you just work some more dates, including maybe the SmackDown. Maybe you won't see him on anything else, but a couple of SmackDowns a month in the pay-per-views. It sounds like that's what Hogan's deal was back when he was doing it. Did you ever see Hogan wrestle on Saturday afternoon? No, he was always on Saturday night's main event.
Hell no.
When I was a kid, I was so pissed off about that because I only got to see him on
You got to see him on the week that Saturday Night Live didn't air.
Yeah.
So that's actually what it was. Yeah, no, I know. I was mad about that too. You get to see his promos, but never watched him wrestle. Stick his head out like Billy Jim was in the ring or something. That's all you got.
Or a quick save. You know what I mean? If Tugboat was getting his ass kicked.
Tugboat. The Shockmaster. Tugboat.
There you go.
Oh God.
KO and Shane McMahon. The match itself, though. Anything to add to that? We kind of talked about where we think it's going, but I watched the match. It was good. You know what? I mean, Shane McMahon's not an actual wrestler, but he always puts on a show, and he's not willing to he's willing every time to get his ass beat.
Yeah, he does put himself out there. I was extremely impressed when he fought the Miz.
Yeah, that drop. Yeah, I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, dude, you're putting in work when you're doing stuff like that.
Well, you're a millionaire.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny too because if you compare Shane McMahon now to when he first had that reign as the European champion many years ago, he's a lot. I have to be honest with you, man. I was actually impressed in the last last WrestleMania when he wrestled AJ Styles. He put on a wrestling clinic. I was like, what the hell?
A good match.
My God, wrestling holds. Good going, Shane. Seriously.
It's like the kid with the ultimate life that got to do the one thing he's always wanted to. He's a rich kid, but he got to become a pro wrestler under his family's company. Seems like a really cool thing that someone would be happy.
I don't know that's
to put themselves to put themselves out there, to put their body through that kind of.
I think because his dad did it, he just feels like it's just part of what he has to do to make the show. Because he himself trains in Muay Thai.
Yeah, he does a lot. He's very active in all of that. I even think he does jiu-jitsu as well.
He's definitely for sure a Muay Thai fighter, and he just I think likes the physicality of it.
He's in great shape.
You know what would have been sweeter in that match? If you had the Greenwich Street Posse right on ringside.
Yeah. Didn't KO say something about that? He made a comment about that.
I think he quoted it.
Yeah, in a promo, he was like, I didn't have this. I didn't have a thing called the Mean Street Posse or whatever. He called it that. It was pretty funny. Shane just kind of looked at him like, what? That was pretty funny. Nah, you know what they're doing there? That feud's going to continue. I think Brock's going to be the face for Fox, but I think SmackDown's going to end up revolving around Kevin Owens. That's what I think is going to happen. It's just going to be like Brock, and Fox, but SmackDown's going to be about Kevin Owens. I think that's coming down the line. The next match, I think it was might have been the match of the night, was Charlotte Flair and Trish Stratus.
Really?
It was good. It was a good match. I think Trish can still go.
It was all right. It was a good match. You know what? I guess I had the illusion because remember, I think she was booked to wrestle. I think on Monday and on Tuesday, right? Before SummerSlam, right?
Trish?
Yeah.
Maybe she was in a tag match. When they were in a tag match, weren't they?
Yeah, but she wasn't even.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I noticed, and I'm
She
like,
was just there.
I'm like, is it that? Is it that bad? Is she that rusty? No, she did okay. She did. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't really intrigued with the match, to be honest.
The build-up was fast. Maybe that's what it was. There wasn't a story behind that. It was more just a match.
I was kind of more impressed that she was able to put that figure 8 lock on Charlotte. Because she's a short girl too. Jeez, well, she's flexible. Why not?
Which she's always been. So, I don't know. I thought it was good. I mean, you can't deny Charlotte Flair's talent. You knew Trish, just like anybody else, is going to put over the younger talent. That just was going to happen. She got a hell of an ovation when she was done, though. That is her hometown, but she got a hell of an ovation afterwards.
Question though, weren't they planning to do a Lacey Evans versus Alundra Blaze match in SummerSlam or something like that?
Not that I know.
I heard something. I heard a rumbling.
You know what?
That because they were feuding. They were feuding on Twitter a while.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did know about that.
Is she injured?
Evans? I was just gonna say I haven't seen her in a few weeks.
Yeah,
not since the ending of the.
I was just saying I haven't seen Baron Corbin either.
Oh, I think he's been floating around. I mean, they mentioned that he's gonna be part of King of the Ring.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard about.
I just saw the lineup for King of the Ring. I'm on Scored Circle's Reddit page. I just saw it there.
Is he in it?
Yeah,
Baron Corbin? Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, they announced that on Raw.
Oh, okay.
On Raw.
Oh, here's the list.
You know what? I'm kind of guessing they're going to be Queen of the Ring pretty soon. I want to say, right?
There's enough of them.
More than.
There is, but they're still pushing the same ones all the time.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. They feign as if they're doing something special with the women when they're just basically let's just throw everything at the same people over and over again.
Okay.
It's like I don't understand why they bother bringing people up from NXT when they should just let certain people should have just stayed in NXT to shine. I would have been more than happy to watch occasional NXT matches if it meant Asuka had gotten a chance to stay down there and do her thing.
You do know that Tyler Breeze and Fandango are down in NXT. They're officially back in NXT.
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay.
Like as a tag team?
As a tag team. Tyler Breeze went down hilarious. First because he's been with NXT for a while now, pretty much ever since Fandango got hurt.
Yeah, I had seen pictures of him down there, but I didn't know Fandango.
I watched him wrestle.
Is it Bo Dallas down there right now?
Not that I've seen on TV. No, I think the B team's still kind of rolling around Raw every once in a while.
Oh yeah, they were I think in a battle royal
and probably
weeks ago.
R-Truth.
Oh yeah, that too.
I think they're part of that squad that chases R-Truth.
That's such a ridiculous segment, in my opinion.
It's funny. It's probably the most entertaining thing sometimes.
I love it.
Yeah, the belt is ugly as hell, but it's pretty entertaining.
Looks like one of those old WBC boxing belts.
Yeah,
man.
It does.
That's what it looks like.
That's pretty funny.
No, I was just gonna say that 24/7 is probably one of my favorite things on TV right now.
Oh, it's pretty funny, yeah.
That and the Street Profits.
Oh yeah, we didn't really get into it last time, but all the 420 references with Rob Van Dam that they were making a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that was great.
Funny stuff. I still don't know what those guys are doing there. They've never really said. They just like to hang out backstage. They're there for a reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. They're hilarious. They say the show could be totally dragging, and then they'll show up and totally get me back interested in the show again.
They kind of reminded me of Crime Time.
Yeah.
Crime Time. Yeah, they had little segments like that too.
I saw somewhere that the reason that they had they had run into Seth Rollins and were talking to Seth Rollins was to legitimately makes Seth Rollins look cool because he gets heat. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but he takes a lot of heat on Twitter because he kind of runs his mouth and doesn't really pay attention to what he says. Like, that's your position in the company. You probably shouldn't be talking like that. Just like so he
You should tell that to Matt Riddle.
Yeah, that fool. You know what?
Shots at Goldberg and I don't know who else.
There was something that aired on. It was filmed backstage at SummerSlam. There was we're gonna see this somewhere. There was a segment where Matt Riddle passed by Goldberg's room and they exchanged some words, but there were cameras there, so it had something to do with an angle down the road for something. Because it was something like, "I'll call you bro. I'm not your bro. All right, bro." So like something like just going on, but there were cameras there, so it's an angle. So we'll see something out of that. No, I'm gonna go on a tirade about the women's belts, the tag belts, because it really bugs me how I'm fine with Alexa and Nikki having them, but everybody, they're finally gonna defend them. You act like the Iconics didn't want to defend them. You wrote that shit. It's written. You couldn't have written that they were gonna wrestle in a match and actually chicken shit their way to a win. Like that should have been it the whole time. These two girls find a fluke way to win or cheat to win. Come on. It should have been any of that. And all of a sudden, we make them the longest reigning ones, even though they're only the second ones. And then all of a sudden, take it away and we're fighting champions. Oh, that bothered me when they said that.
Yeah, can I jump in real quick and just give my my Kabuki Warriors had been basically working with the Iconics in an amazing storyline for a couple months now.
Them, like that's supposed to happen.
And doing some great stuff on the mic with all three of them, and then obviously great stuff with the Iconics, and then all of a sudden, now don't get me wrong, I love Bliss and I absolutely love Nikki, but not like this, not at the expense of a wasted storyline with the Kabuki Warriors, unless you 100% intend to give the Kabuki Warriors the belt after Nikki and Bliss, then maybe I might forgive you, but they're wasting time. They're just like throwing. I think, and if you see stuff that Paige posts, some of her frustration I think is real in her Twitter posts.
I don't.
It's not all just storyline. I think some of the frustration in her posts is real.
I think a lot of frustration.
She's just recently because she's like just had successful neck surgery earlier today. I don't know if you saw her.
Yeah, I saw a picture of her in a wheelchair leaving the hospital.
Yeah, I think she's trying to get Daniel Bryan surgery. I think she's trying to make a comeback like Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan was doing some kind of he didn't get surgery, dude. He had some kind of oxygen treatment or something. It was something kind of new agey and different.
Well, as long as he didn't freeze his feet.
Before we move on to the next segment, I was gonna say that doesn't it kind of bother you guys that like Asuka's in this tag team? She should have been champion a long time ago. I know she was a champion once, but she would have had a nice little. I would have given her a nice little run as
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, Anthony's a big Asuka fan. Yeah. And I can't deny that. She should have. And if anything, the only pure tag team they had was the Iconics. Like, they're the original tag team. Nobody else really, even that one, as much as I like Asuka and Kairi Sane, that was a piece together tag team. But we see what we see.
And then I really do think Asuka deserves better.
Well, I also heard too that we already know Vince doesn't care for tag teams. That's very obvious with the way all the tag team belts have been handled. But the only reason I heard, I'm not sure how true this is, the only reason there are women's tag team belts is because basically Bayley and Sasha were outside his office every day campaigning for him. So it was like, okay, we'll create him. You guys can have him because you keep bugging me for it. Basically, it's like what seems like what happened. So I don't know. I could see some truth in that. Honestly, because they don't know what they're doing.
And also you gotta kind of see it in a way. Yeah, of course, this doesn't care for tag teams, but I remember, when we growing up, all of us grew up watching wrestling. I remember the traditional tag teams, the Legion of Doom, the Demolition, the Fabulous Rugos, the Hart Foundation. You hardly don't see that. The only one that I see is the Revival and the New Day.
Yeah, just say the New Day.
And probably a couple of other you know, what happened to the old tradition of not having two top guys in tag team? It doesn't make any sense to me now. You know?
Well, even the New Day was put together. I mean, you're talking about more like the Usos, Gallows and Anderson, guys like those.
Well, the last couple of years, they were just putting like the two top guys, you know, giving them the belts. Two top guys as tag team champions. Two top singles competitors that should be fighting for a singles title instead of a tag team.
There's a lot of true tag teams in over there, but they just don't like them.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And they're still locking everybody up too because they don't want them to go to the competition.
I mean the Ascension still comes out every now and then. They're a true tag team. I don't know what the hell they're doing with the Viking Cardinal Raiders, San Diego Raiders, 24/7, 365-day belt. You know, I don't know what they're doing with any of those actual tag teams. They prefer their little, you know, like you said, it's obviously because, you know, Vince doesn't like tag teams. He'd rather just take two actual singles wrestlers, throw them together, and say, okay, well, that's a tag team.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Cesaro and Sheamus. How long were they tag team together? And they're not even tag team. I mean, that was just like a, you know, thing. Then just grew.
They kind of became a tag team.
Yeah. We got used to them though, but you know, they're good singles. They're good singles performers.
It's gonna be interesting when Bischoff takes over SmackDown completely, because out of Bischoff's mouth, he doesn't like tag teams. I've heard that come out of his mouth. But it's purely from, well, the way Bischoff runs things, if you ever listen to his podcast, it's purely from a financial standpoint. He's a businessman. So he just looked at it as, no, I never liked him because you gotta get more guys involved in this match, which means you're paying more money. He made it financial, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, it makes sense, but like, you know, it isn't traditional stuff.
Come on, man, give me the goddamn tag team.
I don't think you're going to completely eliminate him, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Kofi and Randy.
I mean, it didn't mean anything.
I hated the finish. I really did thought Kofi was going to drop the belt to Randy, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it was a count out, huh? We didn't get a finish.
Yeah, double count out.
And I think it was a disqualification though. I think they awarded Randy the match. I want to say.
Well, on Wikipedia it says officially ended in a double count out.
Okay.
Because I think they were outside, and then what was it, Randy?
I was really, really confused because the way that the announcer dialogue made it sound like as if all of a sudden that Randy had won on Kofi, done something. He had got enraged because of the whole thing with his family sitting right there, and he did something illegal. But then they were very confusing about it. But I never heard anything of them even say the word count out until, like you said, it says it here on Wikipedia. But I never even heard the word count out.
Yeah, I don't either. I didn't either.
Me neither.
Let's see. I'm reading the actual thing. Orton eventually performed RKO middle on Kingston. Outside the ring, Orton taunted Kingston's family, who were in the front row, and a brawl ensued between Kingston and Orton at ringside. Both were counted out, thus Kingston retained the title, and Kingston continued to beat down Orton. And then give a fist bump to his kid after he beat him down. That his kid had to look and be like, "Oh, fist bump. Oh, okay." I am Randy. He's good, man, but I'm kind of over him.
A long time ago.
So what do you do with
Randy? Randy's almost a part timer now. You think around? He's been around a long time, dude. He's been around a long time. He's in the position that he's supposed to be in, where he's putting other guys over. Because I think he's starting to slow down. But he definitely is one he can still perform, but he's not going anywhere because he's a company guy. He was born and bred there. Like, he's never leaving. You're always going to see him around in some form or fashion.
But you and I had talked about it. I don't remember when it was. That do you give Randy 16?
Oh yeah.
Do you give him any more belts? I mean, do you let him be stuck there on 13? Right, he's on 13.
Yeah, he's on 13.
Do you tie him with, because he needs 14 to try Triple H?
And the all-time number is what, 16?
I mean, yeah, 16 is where Rick and Cena are.
Is Cena at 15 or 16?
No, they're tied.
16.
Yeah, he tied him last time when he won the belt.
You know who it's going to be? Charlotte. I'm not kidding. She's at 9.
No, I believe it.
Why not make Flair's kid the one who breaks his record? 17 championships. Even though one of them was
they only have
5 minutes.
Yeah, they could just put her back into another Sasha type rivalry where she wins the belt 4 times in 3 months. Then it makes it easy.
Doesn't need to work near as long. Hey, Dan, Vic, you're gonna get a kick out of this. You know what I don't like about Kofi Kingston?
What?
He does not have a chest. He has no muscular definition in his chest.
He's just flat. He's just lean. He's lean.
Yeah, he is.
Well,
he's that
flyer.
lean. Look at him, bro. Look up a picture of him on Wikipedia or on Google. He literally has no chest definition.
Yeah, he's thin.
That thin.
You know what my problem with Kofi is? That he should just be Kofi. They're on such a kick of dropping people's last names and making them just by their first name, just a one-name character. Well, they left behind his Jamaican origins a long time
hold
ago,
on.
They pretty much mention every single time now that he's from Ghana. So how about we just drop the Kingston altogether and he's just playing Kofi.
Before you go on, hold on.
Well, he's being built from West Africa, right?
He was born in Ghana. He really is African. He's just like when he came up, he was playing a Jamaican. But one of the best promos of all time was when Triple H asked him, "Didn't you used to have a Jamaican accent?"
Yeah, that was a great.
That was a fantastic promo. Where he's like, "What? Did you have a Jamaican accent?"
Or the one promo when Usos came after this, it's just Jamaican.
Yeah, that was a good one. I was just about to mention the Usos thing. That was a good one.
That actually was pretty funny.
Yeah, he has no pectoral
muscles.
muscles.
I'm telling you. No, he doesn't. It's just like flat. I saw an old picture of him, and he has more definition when he was younger than he does now. But I'm like, why is no one ever like? I noticed it against Samoa Joe, who's another dude that I'm like, okay, were they gonna turn him face last week or what? Did you guys see that? How much Samoa Joe got a pop?
Yeah.
People want to want to cheer Samoa Joe, dude. It's coming.
He should have been shot. I still cheer him.
No, I do too. I know what a work he is.
Regardless of whether he's a
yeah. But people wanted to cheer him, especially when they were in Canada. Because notice, he got a pop, and then after he beat Sami Zayn, he purposely had to run down the crowd. I don't care about you, whatever he said, because he was like, I'm not supposed to get cheered right now. Because Sammy's Canadian. So I think they were trying to dude, you know how Canadians are. Doesn't matter if they're a heel or babyface. As soon as you're in Canada, they're going to get cheered.
Yeah.
No Canadian got pushed on this SummerSlam, huh?
Kevin Owens.
Seems like every Canadian.
No, Kevin Owens did. Kevin Owens is Canadian. Yeah.
Oh, just Kevin.
And Renee Young.
Yeah, Renee Young's Canadian too. Yeah. Anything else, Kofi? It was okay. I know they're not going to give Randy the belt. I don't know who it's going to be. It's Brock, dude. It's Brock.
Yeah, that match probably should have been right after the Becky Natalya match because it meant about just as much.
Okay, yeah, probably.
Would you put? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was okay. It should have been a lower card match. That's all I was gonna say.
Would you put Brock Lesnar against Randy Orton?
Again, that happened before. Remember that was the I don't know if you were watching at the time, Dan. Brock Lesnar legit opened up Randy Orton's forehead. He took off his gloves and it was legit punch, and that was planned. It was supposed to be like that. They had talked about it, and it was supposed to be like, "No, open me up." So he was punching him in the head, and he actually drew blood. That was planned. Well, you know what? There's cause for it because I don't think Randy ever had a match with Brock again after that. So there is cause for it. You could set that up and say well, no, he did say that. Didn't Randy Orton say something not that long ago? I got unfinished business with Brock Lesnar. I think he did when they were trying to do some. When Seth won the match to face Brock, Randy was in it, and they were talking to him backstage, and he did say, "I got unfinished business with Brock Lesnar." That's what they were referring to. In fact, the last time I did it, he opened them hard way.
There's a setup.
So there's definitely something there.
That one match that Brock opened Orton up, was that around the time when Jericho was backstage and people wanted Lesnar?
It was. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, Jericho's got no fear. Yeah. And he's not even the biggest guy. He's not I don't even think he's 6 feet tall. But yeah, that was where he confronted him backstage and was like, "What?" And then, Brock gets in his face too, and they finally were like, "No, it was planned. It was meant to happen." So they kind of backed off.
Yeah, I think when the man shouted out, "It's a work, damn it! It's a work!" I guess like that.
Hey, so do we really believe that Kofi's going to be giving the belt to Lesnar, or there's going to be no in between there? Because it just doesn't seem believable. I mean, because definitely Randy would have made more sense to have had him drop to Randy and then have Randy give the belt to Lesnar, but. Kofi Kofi versus Lesnar just isn't an attractive
It's not,
matchup.
but that's what
it's too predictable.
That's what makes it easy to do. It makes it easy to do because it is predictable. You know that's what's going to happen. This is the thing. If you get
it just seems
you
too
get
squash.
Randy involved, and Randy's a heel and Brock Lesnar's a heel. They don't want to run the heel thing. That doesn't work.
Well, wouldn't be the better thing then to have Kofi go against Lesnar and lose because of, and Lesnar loses the first time because of Orton interference, and then Kofi drops to Orton, and then Orton fights Lesnar.
I mean,
that's how I would have written it.
No
Sounds
belt.
like a better match than Kofi and Lesnar.
yeah, I mean it makes sense to me, but I think it's still going to be Kofi that drops it. Because who else you got?
Yeah, probably.
Who else is competition?
Well, you'd basically have to set up something else between now and Clash of Champions just so he can drop the belt at Clash of Champions, or you set up something for Hell in the Cell where he loses, or it's a triple threat with Lesnar in or something like that.
Okay, so here's some scenarios.
Because triple threat would be more believable.
So here's when you make somebody come out looking good because they don't even have to actually lose the belt because of that.
Right. Like Orton.
So if you don't see him lose it by Clash of Champions, then you see it on that SmackDown, or you see the debut of Brock at SmackDown, and then that's what's going to happen at Hell in the Cell. You could see Randy Orton and Kofi continuing this all the way to that, and somehow Brock Lesnar gets involved, and then maybe get a three-way Hell in the Cell. That'd be interesting.
You know what? Sorry to interrupt, but I'm looking. I want to say around this time is probably maybe the perfect scenario for the New Day to explode within the inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Maybe turn their backs on Kofi, maybe interfere in the match. You know, I'm like, yeah, it's a good stable. Don't get me wrong.
No.
Well, they are long.
Yeah, I was going to say, Vic, that's what Anthony and I have talked about that before, that they've been together since 2014. They've been together 5 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time for a tag team to be together, especially now.
An eternity for a stable. I mean, Evolution didn't even last that long.
So
that's why it's a mystery.
I know, like I said, I'm like, if Kofi loses the belt, it should be because maybe a little jealousy between Big E or Xavier. You know, that's the way it should. You know, in my opinion, I would have broken them up a long time ago, personally.
They still sell too many bootios.
Yeah, you're getting ready to expose that to Fox and Nation. That's going to.
We all know booty sells. Booty sells.
Well, I mean, that would be the number one reason to keep them together is
merchandising.
Got
to make some money.
Hey,
got to pay some bills. Got to pay
who
these
buys
men.
that stuff? Kids. I can't tell you when I went to Smackdown in Ontario how many of those unicorn headbands I saw. There were a lot of them.
Oh man, dude! When I was doing security at Citizens Bank, I would have to get there early. So I saw it from the moment I would show up, just from my shift. They've already got their merchandise trailer parked right outside, and then you go inside, and there's a big booth there. Dude, they are slinging T-shirts like crazy. They're selling so much stuff. They make so much money off of merchandising for these guys. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's gonna keep him. That's gonna keep him around for a while.
And it's funny too because I went to WrestleMania in New Orleans a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember when you went. You said you had a blast there.
That was a road trip. The downtown, you had three of those merchandise right in the middle outside.
I mean out there.
You go to the Superdome and there's a bunch of them in there, waiting. A lot of money was dropped that day, I'll tell you that.
I believe it.
I think I dropped like $100 that day.
$35 T-shirts, man. I believe it.
Yeah. How much do you pay for?
Yeah, I was gonna actually compare it to that, man. To be honest with you, that's what I was gonna compare it to. The only thing with that is like you can go on WWE shop and get them for like $12 like once a month.
I was just about to say that you're better off waiting for some of the really good deals on sales on WWE shop.
But the thing is, you're live and your kids want something, it's over. That happened to Rick, dude. That happened to Rick. I was like, I'm gonna buy this on WWE shop. He was like, we're here.
At the same time, there's stuff on the WWE shop that they don't sell like exclusively. Like if it's at a pay-per-view, it's only exclusively there on that, on that event.
Well, that's different.
That's, yeah. Of course, they have the right to jack up the price on that.
Yeah, of course.
Man,
That's why we spent so much money with the
I was there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I was there.
Suplex City in Ontario.
$45.
Yeah. God damn.
So, yeah.
But they're paying.
Oh, yeah.
They're paying.
All right.
Buying his bootios.
Finn Balor is taking a leave of absence. That's why his ass got beat.
Oh.
That's why he got beat. He's supposed to be taking some time off. So, the Fiend.
I'm guessing he's engaged to that reporter, right? So I'm guessing he's probably going to get married.
ESPN or whatever? Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he is taking a break. I mean, that's why they set this up with Bray Wyatt to get him beat.
So this isn't going to continue then. This will be just a one-time thing to get him out there, and then he'll probably move on to a feud with somebody else.
Either that or you know what everybody wants, which we've talked about this before. You know what everybody wants.
Demon?
Yeah. Everybody wants the Fiend and the Demon.
Well, yeah.
But come on, man. That's the Fiend and the Demon. Yeah.
We talked about that. It's too obvious, and that if you're going to do that, you obviously have to have that match. This was the match without the Demon. And then the rematch is always the match with the Demon. It's predictable.
They got to build that up, actually. Yeah. They got to build that up.
You give Finn Balor his time off. He comes back. They get into it again. That's WrestleMania, dude. WrestleMania is the Fiend and the Demon.
Yeah, but what does Bray do in between? Does he just go back to doing Firefly Funhouses, or is he out there?
You're probably going to have him out there fighting people, but that gives he goes on a little bit of an undefeated streak, gets crazy with Mandible Claw, doing this, that, the other thing. All of a sudden, Finn Balor makes his return. It's a big setup for a couple months, and then you get the Fiend and the Demon at WrestleMania.
Well, as long as the Fiend doesn't start going around wearing burlap sacks,
right?
You know who I would like to see challenge?
Say again, man?
You know who I would like to see challenge the Fiend? Aleister Black.
I dig it.
Yeah.
That's a whole dark kind of vibe to it.
In a casket match.
Ooh. Spicy. I like it.
Yeah. That would be pretty sweet. I remember, I think Aleister Black's segment or promo, he's accepting challengers. He's in his dressing room. I guess he had a little promo saying that he's waiting for a challenge.
Yeah, he did before. That's how he got Cesaro. I think he just did one the other day, actually, on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see Olympic East German Olympian Cesaro doing anything other than like fighting actual people who are, we need to see him fighting, doing a lot of athletic matches. It just doesn't seem like a right
Not
fit.
Not
cutting promos, definitely, and not wearing tracksuits.
And rapping. Remember, he's rapped too.
Oh Lord, yes. Just getting back to the Fiend, the Bray Wyatt stuff. That would qualify as my third favorite thing that's been going on the last probably year. And I think that because he's basically appearing on SmackDown, or is that Raw? Do we know where he's going to be?
I think SmackDown.
Okay, so if he's going to be on SmackDown, then that 100% leaves unfinished business with not only Daniel Bryan, but also Rowan. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's both of them.
Yeah, you're right. I never thought about that. From the family.
Yeah, you got unfinished family business.
I think from what I heard, from the media outlets, I think Bray Wyatt's character, which is Fiend, I guess he wants to show up on meaningful events. He doesn't just want to do it like every week, make it like every Monday night or every Tuesday night. From what I heard, that's I was reading an article earlier today about that. He wants the Fiend's appearance to make it seem kind of like a special.
Yeah, well, that's that plays right into the Demon thing. That plays right into the Demon thing. I could even see.
But then that comes back to something we were talking about.
I knew I know. Yeah.
Do we see just Wyatt coming out in his Mr. Rogers attire, cutting promos like that in ring, or are we only going to see him coming out as the Fiend when he's in the ring? And so because otherwise, if you're just having him, if he wants the Fiend to be like a special occasion thing, but then what happens? Then you're kind of wasting Bray Wyatt. And if he's not going to come out and cut major promos as in his sweaters and khakis.
Okay, does he not look more like Bo Dallas when he's dressed like that?
He 100% looks like Bo
I
Dallas.
know they're brothers, but it's like that's
again,
Bo Dallas. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I will say it again because I'm going to say it every episode. They need to get the two of them together.
Yeah, no, it's probably time.
Yeah.
The Fiend twins.
That would be funny.
Long lost
we
brother.
talked about this too. Like when does he lose? When does he lose and who beats him? Because that's the problem the demon has. We've talked about that before too. The demon is never lost. When does the demon lose?
Right.
I was gonna say the Undertaker, but the age is already showing on the guy, so I'm not bringing that up.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, who else is there? You can't Kane.
The mayor? He's a little busy.
Yeah. No, like you said, I like the Aleister Black thing.
Yeah.
Very dark.
It could work.
There's not enough dark characters on wrestling anymore.
No, actually, there's not.
AEW's got a few.
AEW does have a few. Because they got some of those guys who are a little bit more in a death thing. They got Darby Allin and no, man, the guy's British. He was in that Jimmy Havoc. There you go, Jimmy Havoc. Yeah. Jimmy Havoc. That's the guy. Anyway, the Fiend match was basically just a squash. It was to put over the Fiend. It was to give Finn Balor that time off. I still call it. I say Fiend Demon WrestleMania. You got enough time to give Finn his time off and then bring it back to set up something to get those two at WrestleMania. Just the thing is like who goes over.
Yeah, I just want the Mandible Claw. Interesting. Very interesting.
Use it, or just the whole thing altogether.
That he's using it. That they've brought it back. I mean, that was something that Mick Foley. It was his idea. To use it. It was an original thing to him. Obviously, they probably own it now, but I mean, it's an interesting choice. Considering that only basically one other person has used it, other than the inspiration that Mick Foley got it from. So
I heard Eric Bischoff talk about the Mandible Claw, and because have you ever noticed? Have you ever tried to see like does he actually stick his fingers in the guy's mouth, or is it worked and they're just kind of bent right in front of his mouth? And so Conrad Thompson, if you know who Conrad Thompson is, asked Eric Bischoff, "Did you get the real one or the working one?" And he's like, "I got the working one." Which means his fingers weren't actually in his mouth. I found that
right.
And I remember when I saw that too, when I first saw that Mankind come out as a character when we were younger, to see that movie, like, ugh, does he really stick his fingers in that guy's mouth? That's pretty like, about the time you're like, is this real? It's not.
Did they throw up? Did they throw up when they would do that?
I think a couple guys kind of
he was
spit.
Man.
Yeah, like foam at the mouth kind of thing.
Yeah.
It looked like he had rabies or something,
Yeah, he talks about it at length in his first book.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, the origin of the Mandible Claw, how it went over when he first started using it, and all kinds of things. If you guys ever haven't read that, Blood and Sweat Socks, his first book, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Then the guy I can remember that actually throwing up was the Warrior after Papa Shango did some voodoo on him. Remember that?
Well, anybody will throw up after Papa Shango does some voodoo on you.
That's the way that it is. That's what I remember. That's what I think about that match. What about the main event? What do you guys think about the main event?
Seth Rollins looked good. Brock Lesnar just was red, as always.
Like tomato. He turns bright red.
He just looks like a giant tomato. There's nothing about him that's yeah. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Brock Lesnar, so by now, so
that is true. I thought Seth came off looking strong in this match. Looked like he had kind of quote unquote done his homework every time he took some Germans, but every time he went for a German, he was able to flip.
Well, I know, but he had to look strong, or otherwise the win wouldn't look good.
Yeah. It was different the way he wrestled this match as opposed to other ones. So it was. I guess it was.
It definitely wasn't as strong as his WrestleMania win.
Okay.
I don't think so, but.
So I think it came off good, and I think it came off as like something different. What were we gonna say, Vic?
I know it was a good match. It was kind of like just the regular, pretty much the regular match, back and forth, and it was either gonna go either way. I'm like I don't think Lesnar's gonna win this one. Yeah, I think he's gonna drop it off. Well, we kind of knew that was gonna happen. Well, and then not only that, I didn't get to see the last 10 minutes, so I got to see the last that day. So it was a pretty good match. Can't argue with that. I just don't know where it's gonna go from there. You know, who's next on Seth Rollins' list? You know.
Who did he wrestle the other day? Is it AJ he wrestled the other day?
Yeah, AJ got it in his face.
But then it was
AJ still the U.S. champion, right?
But then it was between him and the club, between AJ and the club. Who did we get down to the ring? We got Braun, Braun hasn't been seen a lot on Raw either. If you think about it, and then
no, Braun struck some sort of strange alliance with and actually shook Seth's hand.
The monster among men.
Which you don't usually see the monster shake anybody's hand.
No, but I'm telling you, they don't know what to do with him.
So they're just gonna ally him.
They're just gonna figure out something to do with him because it's like you blew it.
I mean, if you don't have something to do with him as a singles move, you might as well have him just be an enforcer or a strong man.
Well, let's face facts. I'm like, who's gonna beat that guy? Who are you gonna put in there to make it seem believable that I could actually beat Braun Strowman?
Right, and that's
Brock
Lesnar, Lashley.
Lashley, I thought was going to be the guy to do
maybe
it.
them.
If it's not going to be Brock, it was going to be Lashley, but Lashley's hurt right now.
That's another one that Aleister Black could be believable. Cesaro.
Yeah. Problem is they haven't had him beat yet, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean Cesaro's a good one because they always you just hype up that thing that the pound for pound, the strongest guy in the WWE thing. You just hype that up, and they can totally make it believable. Cesaro beating Strowman.
Yeah, it's come this far without it, so it's like you got to do it to the right guy now because it's been hit and miss with Cesaro for so long that this is his chance.
Cesaro's overdue.
But if it doesn't work, then you wasted the whole thing.
Giving him the strap a long time.
Yeah, it was an example. There's other people. It's the same with the Fiend. You just find the right people, and I mean, there's a lot of big dudes in there, but you just have to single them out.
Yeah.
Well, Adam Sherry he's getting paid a lot of money to not win anything, and he just resigned.
Yeah. A 5-year contract, I think.
That's their number now. Everything's 5 years.
Yeah.
But they don't know what to do with that guy. I've said that for a long time, and I'm over him. But they don't know what to do with him. So that was SummerSlam. Overall, it was Didn't hate it. Wasn't like, wow, best thing I've ever seen. Real quick, anything from the next 2 nights that stuck out to anybody? From Raw or from SmackDown? We talked about Sasha Banks. Who's next for Rollins? Is it going to be AJ? Ricochet. That was the other one in the ring. Ricochet came out with Braun Strowman. So we're going to see, inevitably here, Rollins, Ricochet. And
we're going to sell ourselves a tag
That's exactly
team
what we're going to have. Versus the OC. That's coming at some point.
Yeah. Probably next week.
Yeah, probably next week.
Probably 100% for sure. It's the I would bet that it's the main event of Raw next week.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that.
But that's what we have. Any other thoughts on?
Very
nice. Any other thoughts on?
Good question. Nakamura wasn't even booked in the event, huh?
There's a lot of guys right now that are not being booked. A lot of them. Rusev. When was the last time Rusev was on TV?
Oh, that's kind of just wait.
Yeah.
Rusev hasn't been on TV in months.
Talk about a waste. He's another one. See, I could see him beating Strowman.
Oh yeah,
there's 100%.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
Alicia Fox was brought out on the Raw reunion as an alumni. What do they call them? Not retirees, but like, what did they call them? People that had showed up, old school. Anyway, she showed up as part of like not an active wrestler.
As a legend, pretty much.
She showed up as a legend. Okay. So this week, actually, I think just yesterday, it was reported that she was sent home because she was a drunk mess. And Dan, we talked about this on our podcast before, how she was allegedly, Arn Anderson was allegedly fired because he let her wrestle drunk.
Yeah, that's right.
First of all, is she a legend? Is she actually with the company? Because we haven't seen her on TV. She went into the ring with all the legends. She didn't have a beer. I did notice that. She didn't take one of Stone Cold's beers.
But it was after.
What do you mean?
Well, you said they sent her home.
Well,
she was drunk.
It was, but after. I thought because we didn't see her with any beer in her hand at the reunion, because we
didn't got hot with any beer either.
No, so. And that was on purpose. He was actually told not to get in the ring. I heard somewhere they told Scott Hall, don't even get in the ring, man. Like, and he knows better, but Alicia Fox didn't have a beer in her hand, but she gets sent home for being a drunk mess. I just thought it was kind of like, hey, wait a minute. But the bit more than that is like, is she not active or is she? Because we've never actually been told. She just showed up with all the legends.
I think she's not. I think she's probably getting paid to stay home. I want to say because she hasn't been booked or promoted at all.
Yeah.
I'm like the only highlight of her career is her winning the Divas Championship at one time.
Yeah, she's the longest tenured women performer on the roster. She's been with them the longest. Just something to watch in the next couple of weeks to see if we hear anything about that. Because man, poor girl could be a mess.
I was gonna say I could say the same thing of the Brooklyn Brawler. He's been there he was there for a long time, but do I consider him a legend?
Right.
Come on.
In the loser's wing.
Yeah.
Saying.
The jobber wing.
Along with Iron Mike Sharp.
Well, they did have Santino was there at the Raw reunion. So
speaking of Santino, have you guys checked their daughter out? His daughter out? His daughter is getting into the business.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's older than you think, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know how old he is, but I think he's older than you think. Anything else catch your interest as we kind of start to wind down?
Just one. I was gonna say, how many Fiend masks are gonna be sold on WWEshop.com during Halloween?
Have they released that? Have they actually released one of those?
They just released it. It's like $48 for that mask. You can go on Etsy, you can find the same mask at $85, but they add the little Jamaican braids on it.
I'm gonna look that up. I want to see it. Oh, here it is. Discover the newest Funhouse merchandise. Bray Wyatt official merchandise. Yeah, $49.99.
There you go.
You can get the replica mask. You can get the Heel and Hurt gloves for $19.99. You can get the puppets.
Yeah, get all of it.
You know what? I'm kind of disappointed though. Was that the last time they're gonna show that lantern with the severed head?
That shit was wild.
That was the best
I think
part.
that got over, man. You're gonna see that again. That got over. I'm surprised they don't sell that here.
Yeah, supposedly on the network they edited the lantern with the severed head.
Oh really? I hadn't heard that.
But a lot of their sponsors didn't like the image, I guess.
Where was that? Because I watched it on.
Some people didn't like the image. I guess some of their sponsors or something like that. I don't know. I heard, but that severed head was pretty cool with the lantern. That shit was pretty dope.
I'm looking at.
I guess the only thing to mention from Raw is just the announcement that King of the Ring was returning. I mean, I guess we referred to that earlier, but that's a pretty big deal. How long has King of the Ring been gone?
6, 7.
It's been that long?
I want to say 5, 4 years. Was it William Regal that won the last one?
That's a throwback.
That's a big throwback.
Yeah.
It was William.
It's the first King of the Ring event since 2015.
There you go. Hey, it's funny because I remember when I used to like when King of the Ring was actually an actual pay-per-view. These little segments on freaking Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, anymore, it's like if they do King of the Ring and nothing comes of it, if you don't end up with like a King Booker or, something like that, then it really is just a throwaway and it means nothing.
Bad news.
But, or if Austin 316 or one of those big, King of the Ring moments, if you don't have something like that, then really King of the Ring is just words.
The one thing I like, the one thing that WWE is doing right with King of the Ring is that they're doing it kind of like the World Cup of Soccer is kind of like once every 4 years or once every 3 years. It's not every year that they're doing it, It kind of puts a little bit of prestige on it, you know what I mean? It has to mean something, you know what I mean? So
right. Yeah, definitely. And it has to definitely mean something by the end, otherwise it's just a throwaway. But if they can make it a big deal and definitely do the every 4 years thing, it could become an even bigger deal than what it already is.
Oh yeah. Or even that, even better, every 2 years would be nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Bad News Barrett was the last winner.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Because he was King Barrett, right?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's right. He became King Barrett. And that was when he was getting in a push and when we thought he was going to do some things, but then I think he got injured and that was the end of that.
And that's my correction of retractions right there. My bad, guys.
No worries. No worries. Can't remember it all.
No, we can't.
Yeah, one Brit, another Brit. It's the same shit.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we've done about an hour. What do we got coming up? Oh, you know what? We have coming up. We have All Out. It's at the end of the month.
Yep.
So we'll watch All Out, and then if anybody's down to talk about All Out afterwards.
What day is that?
31st.
Okay. Are you serious? Because that's the same day as TakeOver Cardiff.
Yes. And that was, number one, done on purpose. But number two, doesn't make a huge amount of difference because on the West Coast, that's like 11 a.m. So, you know, if I wanted to, I can watch both. I can watch TakeOver Cardiff in the morning and then All Out later in the afternoon.
I see that already has a full, at least 4 matches already set for that. Yeah, including Toni Storm against Kaylee Ray, Walter versus Tyler Bate for the UK Championship, UK Tag Team Championship match, and then a last man standing match between Mastiff and Kofi.
I've watched that. Some of those guys are pretty good. Walter is definitely interesting to watch. Toni Storm needs to be here in the States. Really. She needs to be wrestling here in the States.
I mean, you have to figure.
Eventually that'll happen. So maybe I'll watch that in the morning and then All Out in the afternoon. But that probably will be the next time Kayfabe Culture gets together with whatever rotating cast of characters we have at the time. Will be probably to talk about All Out. So, all right, gentlemen. I think that'll wrap it up for this one. The next one, like I said, will be probably after All Out.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
All
right, gentlemen. Does somebody got anything else to say? I'm out. Time to finish a couple things before some of us got to work it in the morning and get up at 5 a.m.
It's an honor to talk wrestling with you guys. It's an honor.
Cool, man. I'd like to have you on a little bit more.
Thank you.
All right, man. Talk to you all soon.
You guys take care.
All right. Later. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Are over 300 pounds. Moves like a man half that size. And look at this brutality right out of the gate. There goes the guy from Coed Cambria.
Kayfabe Culture is part of the Extraordinary Culture podcast universe. You can email us at exocast@yahoo.com. We're also on social media. You can find us on Instagram at exoculture. We're on Facebook at exocult. We're on Twitter at exocultcast. You can listen to Extraordinary Culture or Kayfabe Culture on Podomatic, iTunes, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify. You can YouTube Extraordinary Culture Podcast, or you can ask your smart home device to play the Extraordinary Culture Podcast.